Definitely. Now I see on your Instagram, last question, that it says name 5 people that you could fight, like dream fight. And you said Lomachenko, and you tagged him.
Lomachenko, 2 more
like
Lomachenkos.
Dylan.
Yeah.
Why you want to fight him?
Because everybody think he the boogeyman or something. Like, they all scared of him. Listen, where I'm from, the bullies get bullied, period. So, you know what I'm saying? Listen, I'll fight Lomachenko.
Why do you think you match up well with him? You getting big, too. I see you spar in Oakland, like, I don't know, you might have been 16. Yeah. But I see you getting bigger, man.
Yeah.
So what you got for Loma?
I feel like my style will match up good with Lomachenko because I'm able to make adjustments. These guys that he fighting are just fight one style, and they try to come at him and try to rough him up. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to be versatile and be able to make adjustments, and that's what I have.
Devin Haney says that Vasyl Lomachenko cannot become undisputed without seeing him and fighting him. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Sign up. The time is near. UFC 244. Purchase the pay-per-view from me. ESPN Plus pay-per-view. Use the link in the description box of all of my videos, and it all in the video, and it helps the channel. I am an affiliate. Shout out to ESPN Plus. Shout out to Disney, and it should be a great fight tomorrow, November 2nd. Now, Devin Haney did a media day, and it's really shocking that, you know, he's with Eddie Hearn in rematch room, and he's supposed to be fighting on the KSI Logan Paul card, and that is literally the week after Canelo versus Kovalev, which is tomorrow. So we're already, you know, a week away from his fight, and they're doing a media day. Yet a week before the fight, we don't even know who he's fighting. I think that's really weird for DAZN to have a YouTube card with 2 YouTubers, and their fight was announced. They had 2 press conferences. Might I add more than Canelo versus Kovalev? And it's not like I understand if Devin Haney's opponent fell apart last minute because of visa problems, or somebody failed a drug test or pulled out, or, you know, something like that, so they were scrambling to get an opponent. No, this is not the case. He was linked to fight Peter Petrov, and I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if they're going to pick somebody else, but according to Eddie Hearn and DAZN, KSI versus Logan Paul 2, no headgear. Ooh, that was supposed to move the needle and be such a benefit to boxing fans. Yet the boxers, you have Billy Joe Saunders on there fighting nobody that boxing fans want to see, Marcelo Carceles or some shit. Devin Haney is a terrific fighter, and a week out from his fight, you've never announced who he was even fighting. You know, it wasn't like an opponent fallout like I mentioned. So that, to me, I had to start with that because it's extremely weird. However, he did a media day for this, you know, hollow man opponent that Eddie Hearn hasn't announced, and he said some real shit about Lomachenko. He says it's high risk, low reward. If Lomachenko were to fight me, he'd get more money than if he fought somebody else. The fans want to see me and him fight more than they want to see Richard Comey or Teofimo Lopez in Loma. It makes all the sense in the world. If I was so easy, he'd fight me like anybody else. I don't think he could become undisputed without having to fight me. They're talking about, he also started talking about Lomachenko possibly moving down to 130. He says what it sounds like is he's going to fight for all the belts, even though he doesn't have the WBC title any longer. He has the franchise belt. I feel like he's going to fight for all the belts and then move down. I don't see him fighting me, honestly. If I don't fight Lomachenko ever in my career, it doesn't make or break me. I'm young and I'm 20 years old, and I'm the youngest champion in boxing. So that's him. He also wants to fight Luke Campbell. And He says, this is my first world title. It didn't happen the way I thought it would. Lomachenko and his team asked to become the franchise champion. They're happy about it, and he wanted it to happen. If it didn't happen like that, I would be his mandatory, and then he would have to come see me. I don't know, it's boxing. And he goes on to say about Carl Moretti with Top Rank. He went on to proclaim, he says, I'm the mandatory for your guys is number one pound for pound on your list, Vasyl Lomachenko. He seems bitter for some reason. Obviously, he said it's because I wanted too much money when they wanted to sign me. So Devin Haney's absolutely right. You know, this whole franchise champion in multiple divisions creates confusion amongst the fans, amongst the title holders, and I don't see how Lomachenko can be recognized as the undisputed guy if he just goes and faces the winner of Richard Comey versus Teofimo Lopez on a Top Rank card. You know, it doesn't make sense. You ducked your mandatory, and if you don't fight him and you just try to fight and, you know, oh, I got this elevated belt, then that doesn't make sense. The whole purpose of Undisputed is so you can say, I cleared out a division. There are no other people with legit full-bodied belts in my division, you know, that not like WBC silver interim or Euro Commonwealth belt. I'm talking about a real belt. Devin Haney has the real WBC belt, not this made-up franchise belt that's been out for 3 months or whatever. So just like Canelo can be undisputed at middleweight until he fights Charlo and Demetrius Andrade and now Golovkin. So that's why you see Canelo fighting at light heavyweight, because all of a sudden his priorities have changed, because it's now become too hard to become middleweight undisputed, because you have the belts dispersed because of poor decision making from Golden Boy. You know, they let Derevchenko Triple G fight for a belt because Canelo got stripped of the IBF. They let Charlo become a champion after he got stripped, and then Demetrius Andrade already had the WBO. So at one point, Canelo could have just fought against Demetrius Andrade, and he would have been undisputed should he had beat him. But he didn't do that. DAZN didn't enforce it, and now he's stuck. So that's why he's fighting at light heavyweight, even though nobody told him. That's why he's talking about fighting at cruiserweight. So the Lomachenko situation is no different, and there's no way Lomachenko can say he's the best lightweight without seeing Devin Haney. All the talent in the world, ambitious, precocious, ready. You know, he's ready for the world, and he's calling you out. That's crazy to think that there's a boogeyman who can't even drink, you know, legally. I'm not saying he would, because he's a professional fighter, so maybe he wouldn't even if he could. But I'm just saying, based on the laws of the land, and, you know, he couldn't buy alcohol for his pops or some shit in California. He's only 20 and he's a boogeyman. So we'll see how it all plays out, but it's going to look horrible if they try to make Lomachenko versus Comey Teofimo winner and then he jumps back down. And they've already started like the narrative and setting the stage, talking about he wants to fight Inoue at featherweight. And once again, if you have the complexion for the protection, this seems to be the norm where things like this are accepted. Lomachenko, the great Lomachenko, he's rated #1 pound for pound. He don't have to fight Devin Haney. He don't have to rematch Orlando Salido. He can backtrack and go backwards, and when the fights become harder and then you got a guy incessantly calling you out like Devin Haney, who looks to be the good, who wants to prove what he's made of, you go the other way and then step down and go to 130, 126. You want to fight Inoue, who fights at 118 pounds, hasn't even won the World Boxing Super Series versus Donaire. It's laughable, it's farcical, and it's a bad look for Lomachenko, and it's a bad look for old media, because they place these fighters in the position, and when it comes time to do what #1 fighters you would think would do, it's the opposite, you know? So I agree. Loma got to see Devin Haney. If you like what I'm doing, smash the like button, donate, hit the subscribe button, and that's really all I got to say. Devin Haney looking like the future. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next videos, Ego signing off.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.